All right, welcome back to the program. In case you're just joining us, it's time for our interview. Right now, my guest is with me right here. Okay, I don't know if you saw that card which we did put earlier on. I have the Chief Financial Officer, Uk-Dion, Group Eyinnaya Ikwor. Welcome, Mr. Ikwor, on the program. How are you doing today?
Fine, Nancy.
Let's start. I guess our viewers may have seen that card on the screen introducing Uk-Dion Group. Earlier on, I also did say that we do get that question a lot, even on the show. People send us mails. Okay, where do we put our money? Do we have reliable, or people will want to find out if the investment managers or people they are giving money to are registered or they should go ahead. On the premise of that, I would like you to introduce what your organization, what you guys do. Uk-Dion Group.
Okay.
It's a group.
Yeah.
Group of what?
A group of companies.
Companies, yeah.
Thank you, Nancy. Uk-Dion Group, we are a group of companies. We have Uk-Dion Investment Limited, funds and portfolio managers. We have Nasarada Bureau de Change. Then we have Dion Homes, that is into real estate. Then we have a microfinance bank, that's into retail banking. To the question that you asked, people are skeptical. Where do they put their money? Why would they take money to some places? We've seen the likes of MMM that came and gone. We've seen several Ponzi schemes that
and
came.
they're still existing.
Yeah, some of them are still there.
With different names. And
With
shapes.
different names, actually, yeah. And the worst part is some people actually go to CAC, register their company, and so be it. But when you are talking about an asset manager, somebody managing the wealth of people, they are being regulated by Securities and Exchange Commission. Just like you have the banking sector, the normal banking sector being regulated by CBN. So it's not just enough to go and register a company and say, I'm a commercial bank. And you come out and you start to operate. There are regulators. So when somebody is saying, I'm an investment company, I manage people's money, by right, Investment Security Act mandates Securities and Exchange Commission to regulate any firm that gathers people's fund and utilize that fund on their behalf. So it's a question that you need to ask, are these people regulated? For us, Uk-Dion Investment Limited, we are regulated by Securities and Exchange Commission as fund and portfolio managers.
You know, I like that you brought in that aspect, because I also know that many Nigerians are culpable, and many Nigerians are not aware of that fact. I've had calls say, oh, okay, Nancy, can I invest in this company? They told me that they are registered in CSA, and I said that's not the only. Any company can register in CSA,
course, yeah.
but not any company is licensed to take your money and invest. So you need to take a step further by even researching yourself, seeking advice, as little as even going on the website of Securities and Exchange Commission, or going to even other offices across Nigeria of SEC. I don't work for SEC, but that's what you should do, to find out the companies that are saying they want to invest your money to make gigantic returns, if they are indeed licensed, regulated by the SEC. So I like that you brought in that aspect, especially around Ponzi schemes and the MMM that took a lot of money from Nigerians. Yes, and we have a lot of MMM now in different shades.
And colors.
And different shades and colors. You know, so for those that are watching, I would like you to speak about the money market rates, for example, because earlier on during my intro, I did talk about, okay, many Nigerians are complaining now, even me, I don't even see why my money should be so much in a bank. I'm not demarketing the bank, but if you are into investment or you want to manage your wealth, you must have eyes for those things. So I want you to speak about the money market rates.
Okay, that's fine. The money market itself is the market where short tenor instruments that have a life tenor below 1 year, 1 year and below where they are traded. Then when you are talking about the money market rate, you talk about basically the major thing is the treasury bills rate. And the treasury bills rate from what we saw last year, 2020, was down. Then this year it was struggling to come up. Then it rose to 9.75%, which was highest for this year. But the last auction, that's about 2 weeks ago, the next auction is going to be tomorrow. The last auction, the long tenured bill, that's the one of 364 days, ended 8.67%. So it went a little bit lower than the highest it had this year. So tomorrow, we are hoping that it may maintain the same rate or go a little bit down. Then now, because of that rate, every other rate within the money market section is anchored on treasury bills rate. Invariably, the fixed deposit rate is not going to be more than what we have in the treasury bills rate. Then the money market fund, majority of the money market fund, if you look at their rate, it will be playing around that same rate. Savings on its own is already very, very low because savings is based on MPR. And pending the outcome of the meeting today the last MPR, they held it at 11.5%. And savings is 10% of it. So invariably, savings is 1.15%. So when you look at it...
So that's what your savings rate is at the bank for those...
That's,
yes.
that's general savings rate.
Savings rate, yes.
At the bank. It's 1.15%, 10% of MPR. They can't give you beyond that. Then the fixed deposit rate will be playing around that figure. Because majority of the people who play in that have their own kind of instrument, still trade on treasury bills majorly. So they can't give you a rate that will be higher than treasury bills rate, definitely. So it will be playing around that rate, which we have presently at 8.67% for 364 days tenured treasury bills.
Okay. I think let's take a break so we can allow you to digest it, these numbers, because these numbers are very critical. Why you should take note of these numbers is that so that you're able to calculate your money and say where it is right now, is it making as much money as it should make? Savings rates, 10% of MPR, depending on what comes out at the end of the MPC. At today, you've also had the treasury bills rate. So where should you put your money to also beat inflation and perhaps to give you higher returns on investment? That's what we'll be talking about. When we return from this break, do join us again. welcome back to the program. In case you're just joining us, I still have the Chief Financial. Okay, in case you're just joining us, welcome. In case you've been with us since 11, thank you for being with us. The Chief Financial Officer, Uk-Dion Group, is still here. Eyinnaya Ikwor. We're talking about the Uk-Dion Group, and before the break, he did talk about a lot of analysis in terms of what the savings rate is and the treasury bills rate and all of that. So I want you to speak at this time around the true yield and make our viewers understand why these numbers are very critical. So it's not about you just having money or just putting it away. It's about you taking cognizance of what those numbers mean, and so that you can get return on investment. You're not getting negative returns.
Yeah, thank you, Nancy. The truth of the matter in our present economy is this. You can't go in to invest without really looking at the numbers. If you don't, it might just be an effort in futility. Right now, as we speak, inflation is 17.75%. Then the risk-free rate, which is the treasury bills rate that we have just said, is 8.67%. Let's assume that you put your money in treasury bills, for instance. That is going to give you a return of 8.67%. And you have inflation that is going to erode your capital, your wealth, by 17.75%. At the end of the day, what it means is you had a negative return of 9.08%.
That's 17.75 minus the 8.7.
Minus the 8.67 that you are going to make.
So in other words, you are not making money. So I like the way this show is going, mathematics in simple terms, so that viewers will understand why this is critical.
So in other words, what it means is you are not making money. It seems you are making money. There is an interest that you're getting. But at the end of the day, inflation rate is eroding your purchasing power. So what you had before you made that investment and what you're going to have after making that investment, we know what you are going to have after that investment will not be able to buy what you ought to have bought before making that investment. That's exactly what it means. So your wealth is being eroded, but on the facial of it, it's as if you are getting interest.
So you need to take cognizance of inflation rates.
You really need to take cognizance of inflation rates. Whatsoever you are doing, there are two things that you normally look out for when you want to make an investment. Number one is the rate of the return on investment. If it's not higher than the risk-free rate, then you are wasting much of your time. For instance, I have 100 million naira, and if I put it in a business, it's going to give me a return of 6%. I can as well put it in treasury bills, go and sleep. I don't need to waste my effort. Already there's a guaranteed return of 8.67% because the federal government will not default in her obligations. Another thing that you need to look out for is inflation rate. Where am I putting my money? Will it still have the same purchasing power when it comes back? If not, what is going to add to it? Cumulatively, what am I going to make at the end of that investment? So these are the things that people really need to be looking out for. It's not just about, I want to invest. I'm getting 10%. You put your money there. Inflation is 17.5%. You are losing 7.75% on that same investment.
So where do people like you come in now? For those that have listened to you, at least in the last few minutes, and it's making sense to them, and they've now understood the importance of taking these numbers into perspective and taking a look at, especially those times that I'll be analyzing inflation here on the show, for you to know, okay, this is what this means and what it means for my money. How do you guys, how does Uk-Dion, especially your fund and asset management, come in?
Yeah, that's where we come in. In Uk-Dion Investment Limited, we have the Eagle's Eye. We have a team of professionals that watches and monitors the economy. How is it going? what is happening today, what is going to happen tomorrow. The MPC, they are having their meeting. What is going to be the outcome of the meeting? What's going to be, how is it going to affect investments? How is it going to affect the economy? Where is the economy tilting towards to? What can we do? That's the sense of having these professionals to watch. Then when they watch, they come out with informed decisions, a kind of a guide for the company. We have a research department. This research department will be able to say, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. So with that as a team of professionals, whatsoever portfolio we are managing for people is being managed in such a way that their capital is not just being preserved, but also we are adding value to it. In Uk-Dion Investment Limited, we have a mantra. We simply add value. And that value cannot be added if somebody's wealth is being eroded. So that's where we come in as experts in the industry.
So if for those that are watching and they want to, contact you, I guess the numbers were put on the screen earlier. I think I saw that. Let's quickly put those numbers on the screen so that they can reach the Uk-Dion Investment Limited, especially if you really want to understand more of this. And in case you have, it's not just even idle cash. Is that about only idle cash?
It's not really about idle
cash.
It's not really about idle cash. Just like you mentioned, I think there should be the consciousness, number one, to say, okay, I need to invest. And people should separate investment from savings. They are two different things that look so similar. Savings is when you are putting your money aside for a future use. That's savings. But investment is a conscious effort that you make in growing what you have. So if I take my money to the bank and put it in a whatever deposit it is called, with just the mindset, I don't want to touch this money, I want to use it for my house rent next year, it's savings that I'm doing. But when I have that conscious effort that I want to grow this money, that's when I will sit down with my bank and start asking questions. What are you going to give me inside?
You said something now, and I guess let me expand on it. For example, you want to put out some money and you put it in a bank with what you said. I want to invest for my house rent, which I know I will pay house rent, let's say next year, and I have the money now, and I put it away in the bank. Can it also be invested and not just putting it away in the bank? Can I invest that money hoping that I'm going to pay house rent in 6 months' time or in 1 year time? Perhaps I have the money now. Does it make sense to just put it, or I should invest it with people, that is, organizations, that kind of mentality?
Invest in it, yeah, that's what we are saying. We should grow that mentality. Like, I need to invest, not just savings. So majority of us, we stop at savings. And those who understand what investment is, they are making more money. We stop at savings, we set money aside for future use. Whereas the money can actually work for you while you're waiting for that time to use the money. The money can actually work for you. So keeping an idle cash doesn't make any investment sense. I have a whole lot of cash. I have 300 million sitting out somewhere, and it's just there. And I feel I'm comfortable. The thing is, we understand that people have different risk appetites. That's where professionals come in as well, fund advisors. So we have to assess you, understand your risk appetite, where you can go to, and where you will not be able to trade. Some people now, they put their money in stock, and anything happens to that stock, before you announce it to them, you should be announcing their burial first. So when an expert assesses you, say, okay, this is where and where you can go to. You can put the money here, 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 and you get a guaranteed return. So it's now managing you privately. giving you a bespoke service.
Compared to what your risk and perhaps your age.
Yeah, considering your risk, your age. Yeah, age is very, very vital.
Important.
Very, very vital. You can't play with the retirees' money.
Yes.
Lie.
Yes, exactly.
It's very, very vital.
So with talking about age right now, does Dion Group, for example, offer services, not just, what class of people, really? For people that are watching now, be like, oh, okay, whether it's for exotic clients, or can your company really manage wealth or help multiply or grow people's wealth or money across different age groups? At least if you're an adult, you make money, you invest money, you spend money, you save. Can your group do that?
Yes, of course.
Or is it just for...
Of course. No, it's not. It's meant for everybody.
Okay.
It's meant for everybody. So that's why I talked about the private portfolio management. So it's meant for everybody, no matter your age group. But when you come and you are assessed, so when you are assessed, whatsoever that is fit for you is given to you.
Let's talk about the area of technology, because especially during COVID, the lockdowns, we saw that many of us were at home for months. I want to ask how perhaps your group is integrating technology into the investment landscape. For people watching right now from across the country and they want to connect with you, or they are somewhere, let's say in Kano, or somewhere in any part of the country, or even in any part of the world, and they are watching, must they come to you physically? Have you been able to integrate technology? Must I be physically, like in Lagos or Abuja, to invest with you guys? I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I do. You must not come to us physically.
Okay.
Yeah, we've leveraged on technology for our business. You can actually talk to us. We can actually onboard you from any part of the world, in as much as the necessary things are done. The proper know your customer, so which we must conduct, is very, very necessary. But aside that, we've leveraged on technology in the execution of our services, in offering our services to clients, to prospects. So you can actually come in from anywhere. We can onboard you from anywhere. You just need to visit our website, www.Uk-Dion.com. So you see what we offer, then from there we can onboard you. Just at the click of a button, you are on.
And also the email, I guess, that's the website on the screen now for those watching and you want to take advantage of this opportunity. The email is also at info@Uk-Dion.
info@Uk-Dion.com. And our phone numbers are 0809 111 5748 and 0809 111 5768. So you can always call on us. Our financial experts will pick it up and take it up from there. Let's talk a bit about those, perhaps those in the age group of almost retiring. Because I've also heard questions around, oh, Nancy, I'm going to retire like in 5 years. And it suddenly dawned on them at that time that I've not been investing my money, or I've been training my children, and what kind of advice would you give such people, or perhaps those that are watching right now? Can they take advantage of, coming to you guys for advice and you creating that kind of bespoke service, despite perhaps they're having 2 years to retire or 5 years to retire and all of that? Or perhaps they're also looking forward to even their pensions at the end of their retirement age. What we normally say is there is no time that is too late to start. There is no time that is too late to start. So even if you are already, some of them are even retired and they don't know what to do. The truth is this: some people spend the whole of their time working and they don't know any other thing apart from what they were doing. So when money comes, they don't know exactly what to do with the money because they are not used to managing that. So at that point, we'll still assess you, do proper assessment, then know exactly what is going to fit you, considering who you are, where you are.
Can I invest for my children?
Of course, why not?
Because I'm just trying to broaden the scope. In terms of, okay, I want to secure a very good financial future for my son or for my children. Can I just put some money away in terms of investment and just forget that money, or begin to grow that money before that child even enters secondary school or even primary school? So Uk-Dion can do that.
Of course, yes.
Okay, so I'm just broadening the scope so that our viewers would definitely know that there's investment across all cadre, age group and or what have you. We have just a few minutes to go. I would really like you to talk about the real estate market, because earlier on you talked about the group is divided into companies, your fund asset management, your BDCs, your microfinance bank and all of that. I'm interested in Uk-Dion homes. Yeah, because I see a lot of estates now springing up everywhere. I don't know if your estate is part of it. So speak to us about that.
Okay, the Uk-Dion, the Dion Homes was actually born to help the accommodation issue, mostly in Lagos. I think it's a little bit better in Abuja here. In Lagos, we try to chase a house that has not been roofed with the house rent. So there is real accommodation issue in that part of the country. Then Uk-Dion Dion Homes was actually born to help tackle that. So what we do is we acquire properties, either the land itself, sand fill, if it has to do with sand filling, then develop and sell back. At times we acquire already built ones, then put it in shape and sell back. At times too, we help other real estate companies, like those who are having off-takers. What I mean by off-takers is you already have those who are paying down for the property. Because normally these days in Lagos, you see a property, a whole building is not owned by one person. Somebody might have this floor or this flat. So when you already have those who are paying and you need funds to complete, Dion Homes can actually come in, either run a kind of private partnership with you or a kind of structured finance. Then take it off from there, make sure that the property is put in order, and the off-takers can actually pay you off and take ownership of their property. So we don't just do it for ourselves alone, because we are there to help the accommodation problem, and we can't solve it alone. We strongly believe that we can do it alone. So we partner with other estate real estate companies as well to see where we can come and partner with them and complete their projects.
What has it been what has it been like for your clients, really, especially around Dion Homes? I would like to know.
Yeah, our clients definitely they are enjoying. They are enjoying because number one, my GMD, Mr. Michael Diongoli, is an expert in that area. He's an expert in that area, and he gathered a team of professionals who have been in that area for so long, who understand the terrain, who understand the business, and to crown it all, our mantra, we simply add value. That's our core keyword in whatsoever we are doing. It's not just about the profits. What value, like we ask ourselves, what value have you added?
To your customers or to your clients?
Customers, to the society at large.
To the society. Yeah. Okay, just as we round up, can you go through again the numbers, your email address? I know it's on the screen, but just go through. For those watching and you've considered these information, you've considered this information, you've considered his analysis, and you're interested, even if you're not interested, call so that you get more information. You know, anything concerning your money, you've got to be very careful. Don't just be going out to make money, You've got to invest that money. So just go through
Okay.
those numbers and
our
your
website
details.
is www.Uk-Dion.com. Then if you want to send us an email, you can send it to info@Uk-Dion.com. If you want to contact us, you can call us on 0809 111 5748. Or you can call us on 0809 111 5768.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ikwor, for being on the program today.
Thank you, Nancy, for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, I've been speaking with Eyinnaya Ikwor, who is the Chief Financial Officer at Uk-Dion Group. I hope you've watched, listened, not just listened, digested, and make use of the information that you have heard today. I'll see you all again tomorrow, God willing. Be the best you can be and be the change that you want to see. I am Nancy Nnaji. Bye now.